Hey, what's going on, y'all? So this is just an attempt at me doing a long form video. My wife told me I need to do more long form videos, build up the YouTube channel. So here we are. Welcome to Wealthy and Relaxed. Today I want to talk to y'all about what it means to prioritize yourself. Now, I know a lot of us are first generation professionals, right? And I think we need to talk more about this topic today because now more than ever, there are so many distractions in the world, so many distractions on social media, even distractions from our family, friends, things that are keeping us away from learning who we are and doing the things that we want and going for the things that we want in this life, right? So what do I mean when I talk about prioritizing yourself? I mean building wealth, WELLTH, right? And that's important because building wealth means doing something that can better you in your mind, body, soul, your relationships, or your finances. Building yourself in a small way towards any of those areas before you clock in to work is so important. It's so key for you being able to be successful at your job, being successful at life. So how can we make it more real for you? Let me think. So say you would like to get promoted at work and you're having difficulty with doing that. One of the reasons could be because you haven't grasped the concept of what it means to prioritize yourself. As a first gen professional, we come into the workplace and we come in with that survival mindset, right? We're here to get a check. We're here to do whatever it takes to succeed, whatever it takes to move forward, whatever it takes to make your manager happy. And by you doing that, you believe that that's going to get you the promotion that you're hoping for. But really what's holding you back from getting that promotion is the fact that they haven't seen you. They haven't seen the real you show up and come forth at work. And how can you show them the real you? How could you show them who you are if you don't know who you are, right? So one way of being able to overcome that difficulty and getting promoted and being seen at work is spending time in the morning to get to know yourself, right? Learning about who you are. What are your values? What's your story? What are some things that you've overcome in your life? What was the purpose of all of that? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where do you want to go in life, right? A lot of these different aspects you won't really know about yourself until you take the time to reflect and do the work, do the healing, do the inner work that will give you the self-awareness that would empower you to show up to work as your most authentic self. And I had to learn this lesson the long way. A lot of times we think that money is so important and money is the end all be all. And if we get some money, then everything will be great. But really, you don't experience true happiness until you're able to fully show up as yourself and go for the things that you want to do, talk about the things that you want to talk about, and be who you are. My biggest issue was that I was a people pleaser, and I had imposter syndrome. I had survivor's guilt because I was away from home, and I felt like I was the only one out here doing it, right? I was the only black person in this organization. I didn't feel like I can really keep up with all of my peers around me working in IT, right? So I needed to start taking that time to myself, which is what I did. Before I realized it, I was already overstressed. I was dealing with anxiety. I was suffering migraines 2 or 3 per week, right? Think about your case. Think about how much you're trying to move up in your job, but you're not able to because you're not even feeling as if you're able to bring your best to the table. And the only way that you could bring your best to the table is if you're able to be yourself. Okay? So when it comes to prioritizing yourself, spending time to work on knowing who you are in the morning before you go to work, super crucial for you getting that promotion. So that was a work example, right? But let me give you a real life example when you're outside of work and you're just hanging with friends, right? So if you fail to prioritize yourself, then you'll spend time doing things that you hate. Come on, I know y'all experienced times where you were doing activities, you were engaged in activities that you even used to find fun, but later on you realize it doesn't align with who you want to be, it doesn't align with who you are, and you want to part ways. You want to do something different. So for me, I spent so many years going out and clubbing and partying and dating all these women all the time, smoking, drinking, everything included, right? That over time, that didn't start to feel like me anymore. I wanted something different. I wanted to become a husband. I wanted a wife. And I wasn't going to do that. And I wasn't going to find that woman in these environments under these conditions, right? So me prioritizing myself meant that I had to keep it real with myself. I had to be real with myself and then be real with my boys. I had to tell them like, yo, this ain't really fun no more, man. Like, have you ever been invited out to a club and you're like, bro, I don't want to go. I don't really want to go out, but you go anyway. Now, think about how many times you've done that. And then you came home later that night and then you had to ask yourself, you're like, man, I had a good time, sorta, but really I would have been good with not going out. That adds up over time. You failing to show up for yourself in that way adds up over time. And that's what happened for me. But coming to learn who I was and learn more about myself and stand up for myself and be empowered to share what I care about and what I want to do, it enabled me and gave me the courage to eventually tell my boys like, yo, this is how I'm moving now. And this is how I'm going to move. How y'all want to move now? You know what I'm saying? Are you still moving with me? Are you going to support me in this? Or are you going to convince me that I'm lame and that I'm boring and that I lost it or I'm washed, whatever it may be, right? You prioritizing yourself will give you the lens of seeing who is really for you, the real you. Okay? So that's point number 2. Why it's important to know yourself and then prioritize yourself to do that. All right, so let's talk about another upside of prioritizing yourself in the morning before you show up to work. Let's see. So another upside of prioritizing yourself is that you get more out of your job. You get more out of life when you prioritize yourself. And what I mean by that is there was a time where I did not like my job. I'm a Scrum Master and I work in IT, right? And I've been doing that for years. I've been in IT for 8 years now, but I've never necessarily felt like this was going to be the place I would be this long term. So over time, I started to question my place in IT. And I was wondering so much, do I need to be here? What else can I be doing? And I started to build a lot of resentment for my job, resentment for my coworkers, for my leadership, resentment for the lack of diversity in the organization. And it wasn't until once I started prioritizing myself and taking time to take care of me and learn who I was, learn what it meant to be me, I started to actually enjoy my position so much more. I started to show up as myself in my job as a Scrum Master, and that made me start enjoying the job even more. So as I continued to show up as myself, the better I began to get at that job, to get better at my position. And soon enough, I was able to get a new role in a new organization. And then shortly after, a year later, I got promoted within that role because it wasn't that I was stressing out to get better and better and better to perform better at my job. I was learning more about myself and bringing that to the table. And that's the light that everyone else picked up on. People like seeing how charismatic I was, how happy I was, how inspirational I was, how enthusiastic I was, because of how happy I was taking time for myself before showing up to work. That energy was being picked up by everyone else around me. And the last piece to prioritizing yourself, if we relate it to life, the upside is that you begin to simply enjoy life more. You start to take time out like me on this lake right now and just enjoy the scenery. You enjoy the time to yourself. You enjoy doing the simple things with your family or with your wife or with your boys. You just get so much more out of life in general. You have more gratitude. You're dealing with issues much better, right? Because you're meditating, you're taking time to build your self-awareness. You're able to manage your emotions better. And when you're able to manage your emotions better, you can stay at your most calm, most peaceful, most grateful state. And when you're feeling your best, when you're happy, when you're grateful, and you're satisfied with life, you perform better. And everything in your life just continues to get better because you are better and you're continuing to spend your time building yourself up, and you love that, you enjoy it. Your body continues to improve, your mind improves, the people around you improves, right? And the only way you can do that is if you fill your own cup first. And that's what I mean by prioritizing yourself. All right, so at this point, I know you're convinced by now that you want to start prioritizing yourself in the morning before you show up to work, because it has so many benefits, man. And my life has proven it, right? I've shown you all my whole journey on social media, what it looks like to work on myself every single day and the benefits that it has over time in all different areas, right? So how can you do that? That's essentially what me and my wife are here to help you do, which is why we created coaching services specifically for you. We have one-on-one coaching sessions. We have the Wellthy routine and we have the Wellthy regimen. So the way for you to start prioritizing yourself today is that you want to go ahead and get access to our free Getting Real mini course. We're going to ask you 3 core questions that's going to help you gain the clarity that you need to figure out the life that you want to live, okay? Once you do that course, you want to book a Getting Real call with myself or my wife, Candace. And we're going to sit down and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty details of your answers to those 3 questions, because that'll give you the clarity that you'll need to move forward. From there, you can then choose to work with us. We offer 2 core service packages. One is the Wellthy routine, which is a 6-week co-creation morning routine program where we'll spend 2 weeks creating that morning routine, and you'll spend the last 4 weeks going off on your own and doing this routine and seeing who you become on the end of it, seeing what you accomplish at the end of that. Or the Wellthy regimen is a 3-month coaching program where we will, again, work with you to co-create your own custom morning routine, custom tailored to your goals and who you want to become and the life that you want to live. And then you'll spend the next 3 months with that morning routine, and we're going to have coaching sessions, bi-weekly coaching sessions, where we're going to sit down and uncover whatever it is holding you back. We're going to make sure to be talking one-on-one with you as you embrace this journey. That's how you do it. Make sure you check out wealthyandrelax.com. I appreciate you for watching this video, and take it easy, all right?